Do you have the hots for financial statements? Is your ideal Friday night spent cuddling with the Internal Revenue Code? Or maybe you like to get under your bed sheets with some Excel spreadsheets. Whether you answered yes or no, it doesn't matter because you want a job at a Big Four accounting firm. Hey guys, it's Neil, the boring accountant, back with another video. And this one is all about getting a job at a Big Four. Whether it be an audit, tax, advisory, or any other line of service, I have some obvious and not so obvious tips to get you in. Just as a quick note, this video primarily applies to campus hires, specifically undergrad or graduate school students. Alright, let's begin. Be socially curious and socially courageous. Personally, I'd argue that your social skills will get you 80% of the way to an offer from a Big Four. I've been on both sides of the recruitment process, and it is very clear that your social skills and behavior are heavily considered. Remember, you are getting in bed with a client-driven company, meaning your face and your social ability will either help keep the client and bring in the big bucks, or you're out of a job. I also want to make it clear that you don't have to be outgoing. You don't have to be loud or have common interests. You don't have to be a frat bro with many a keg stand under your belt. What you need is a little bit of curiosity and courage. Let's break this down and give y'all some steps for building both curiosity and courage. Step 1. Get involved. I don't care if you are an 18-year-old freshman in college with an inkling of interest for working at a Big Four, or a 40-year-old virgin working in the stockroom at Smart Tech during the day and getting your MBA at night. You need to get involved. Join an accounting club, join a finance frat, get the lay of the land, and find out when and where Big Four companies are coming to your town. The objective here is to be present when they are and to interact with them enough to get their card or email address. This is also a nice addition to your close to empty but filling with stuff resume. I'm speaking to my freshman viewers. And yes, you can put it on your resume even if you attended only one event in 4 years. You could also participate in Big Four sponsored events, like a case competition, which would really increase your chances at getting recognized and potentially get you some extra cash in your pocket, or Big Four swag. I would also highly recommend joining Toastmasters International. This is an internationally recognized public speaking club where you can work on not only your social skills, but also your ability to handle an audience or a group of people listening to you speak. This is an essential skill when going through the Big Four recruiting process. Many of us, including myself, get nervous when we have to speak in front of a group. But let me tell you, over the years of doing Toastmasters and getting up on stage, my ability to handle the nerves has drastically improved. Not only has it helped my work life, but it has also helped my personal life. Join Toastmasters, you will not regret it. Okay, one more important note with attending these Big Four events. Dress code and grooming. Dress to impress and groom to own the room. These are what you call the small things, and the small things matter. Use your best judgment here and consider the fact that the West Coast has a slightly more casual style and the East Coast has a slightly more formal style. Guys with long hair, you don't have to cut it, but you should tie it back. I learned this the hard way. Step 2. Network and listen. Okay, I know you saw that one coming from a fiscal year away. But you might ask, how do I network? It takes a bit of curiosity and a bit of courage, both of which you've been working on building up. You'll need to get used to this, as silly as it sounds. To do this, you have to approach the Big Four reps at these events, perhaps after a presentation. Introduce yourself, mention something from the presentation, and begin to ask them questions about their job, their lifestyle, their tenure. Simple questions like, what do you like about XYZ firm? What is one of the coolest perks of working at your firm? Don't forget to smile, and most importantly, don't forget to get their card. You will use their card later. When you approach them, you'll be nervous, and your palms will sweat, especially if you place them on as big a pedestal as I did. But they won't notice a thing. What they'll notice is your interest in them. And as we all know, everyone loves to talk about themselves. Get them talking and listen closely. If you can, jot notes after your meeting with them about the discussion you had. A few unique notes will suffice. You will use this in step 3. Remember the business card you got in step 2? Well, you'll be using it to write a thank you letter to the individual you just met. As crazy as this sounds, this will be the crux for good relationships going forward, whether business or pleasure. I can't tell you how many times I've been offered cool perks from clients, all because I was friendly and said thank you. No, not those kind of perks. Draft up an email a day or two after meeting with the recruiter or any of the reps you got cards from. Make sure you mention that it was great meeting them and briefly mention something that you talked about with that specific person. This email should not be equivalent in length to the Odyssey. A paragraph or two will do. Remember, the email should be very simple with a touch of personableness. Don't forget to proofread it. Also, you don't have to use dear and sincerely in this day and age. Hi and thank you or best will suffice, along with a looking forward to hearing from you. They will respond, and that will earn you some tax credits with them. Okay, you are socially curious and you are socially courageous. You're 90% of the way there. The last 10% is cleaning up your resume and applying for a job. Resumes suck, but some are really bad. If you haven't had your resume cleaned up, and I'm just talking about the organization, colors, and fonts, then I would suggest hiring someone to do this. It may run you anywhere between $20 to $100, but it's totally worth it. Find some examples online that you like. Try not to use more than 2 different colors, and try to keep it to just 1 page. No need to use Comic Sans here, but you can be a little more edgy with your font choices as the Big Four are actually adapting to the tech-dominated world. You also don't need an objective line in your resume. This is a bit dated. For resume content, I won't get into detail here, but in my experience, I have found that it is in your best interest to be fully prepared to talk about what's on your resume to varying degrees. So any word you use needs to be fully understood by you. What I've done is kept my resume very simple, and I have been very detailed only with regards to my current or most recent job or activity. Now, apply. Throw all the darts on the board. Check your school's career site, career center, collect information on application dates and deadlines, and write it down so that you do not forget. You can also check out the Big Four websites. They will have a plethora of information surrounding job opportunities and internships. Then, fill out your application for the jobs you're interested in. Follow up with your recruiters or representatives, email them, and let them know that you've applied to the firm and are excited for a potential opportunity with the firm. Alright, this is the final part of the process. You're almost done. You just gotta be patient. Recruiting at a Big Four is very structured and occurs in cycles, so you'll know when to expect to hear back. If you follow the steps mentioned in this video, you should at least get a first-round interview. This is where you'll employ your speaking skills, your knowledge of your resume, and your big, fat smile. Rinse and repeat throughout each interview round, and you will have an offer on your plate. That's a wrap, folks. Message me with any questions you have. I'm more than happy to help. Stay boring and stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe, like, and share. Cheers.